Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to our Yoga for Everybody Skills and Self-Care session today. My name is Skyla Ramirez. Let's get started with our breathing technique for this month. This is a technique used to hopefully alleviate some back pain, strengthen your core, and give you more energy. So the energy part of this is relative to the reduction of cortisol, the reduction of stress hormones in the body. So this breathing technique in particular can help to actually lower or flush out cortisol from your body, which also usually can help you with feeling a little more alert and clear thinking. So this breathing technique is 2 quick inhales with a little pause and then a strong exhale. This is what it looks like. Inhale through the nose, strong exhale from the mouth. Here we go. All right, so we're going to do 5 of those. You do not have to pause for a very long period of time after those 2 inhales. However, sometimes when you pause for 3 or more seconds, it can really create a little extra boost of energy in your practice, but you don't have to pause. Okay, let's try 5 of them. Relax all the way, chin down, exhale all the way. All right, double inhale. One more. All right, from here, let's go ahead and stand up. Take your feet out to at least the width of your pelvis bones. We're going to open up the chest by opening the palms of the hands. As you inhale, let's sweep those arms back and around. Bring it to center. Turn the pinky fingers so that they touch and press the palms back behind your head. To exhale, we turn the palms forward and then sweep those hands back behind you. Palms come down by the side and forward. Inhale, sweep it up and overhead. Turn the pinky fingers into touch. Press the hands back behind you. Open the chest. And now palms forward. On the exhale, sweep it back and around. Let's do 2 or 3 more like that. Move with your own unique breath. Inhale up. Pinky fingers into touch. Press back. Palms forward. Circle back. At least 1 or 2 more, taking your sweet time. Pinky fingers in, push back, palms forward, sweep it back. From here, let's touch the toes together, bringing the feet in as close as the body permits with comfort. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, palms forward, sweep it around. Palms up as we press our hips back into a chair pose with a narrow foundation in the feet. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale around. Press the hips back. Just gently strengthening. Inhale up. Strengthening the legs while we open the outside of the hip. So whenever people say, I want to stretch my hips, we say, okay, inside hip, outside hip, front of the hip, back of the hip. Right now we're doing front and back and the outside hip. From here, take your feet out to the width of those pelvis bones. When you're ready, step your right foot back and bend the left knee, holding warrior 1 pose. From here, let's take our left hand, reach it down in front of you as if you're going to shake someone's hand. Keep reaching up with that right arm. Let's take it back and around with the left hand. Inhale, reach it back, adding in a little twist with the trunk of the body. Take it down, inhale, around, and up. Center the trunk of the body. 2 more, down and around. Inhale up. Exhale, down and around. Last one, inhale up. From here, exhale, swan dive. Both hands coming down onto that left thigh. Push the hips back a little bit. Straighten that back right leg. Now, in order to get a little more of a outer hip stretch again, we can lift that right heel and turn it back behind us a little bit more. So normally when we look at our back foot, we might see that the toe is going out and the heel is in. You're going to lift up that heel, turn it back, and see that both toes are facing forward. It's as if you're trying to balance your feet on a couple of 2x4s or railroad tracks. Let's keep our hands on that left thigh for support. Turn the right fingers towards the left, and maybe take your left hand to your low back. From here, keep bending that left knee and push down into that right heel. We're adding in a very gentle twist just from the navel towards the left. Press into the inside blades of your feet and pull up through the pelvic floor muscles. Now, the more we turn that right hip in towards the left knee, the more we may start to feel a stretch on the outside of the left hip. That is very common. Let's look over the left shoulder. Option to extend the left arm back as if we're trying to reach back over that heel behind us. So it'd be the left hand reaching back over your right heel right here. To add in a little bit of a balance challenge, reach the right arm straight up, holding on to 100 helium balloons while we're reaching back, creating the letter L. Big inhale into the upper right chest. Exhale in place. One more. Inhale, reach and straighten the left leg. As you exhale, come forward almost like a cartwheel. Reach it out with that right hand and maybe bring the right hand on the outside of the left leg. Option to reach straight up with the left hand. So now we are in a twisted or revolving triangle pose. As you inhale, draw that left shoulder back and try pressing the right shoulder over towards your left knee. One more big inhale. Exhale, slowly lower that left hand. Bend the left knee. From here, we're slowly moving the shoulder and the hip, left shoulder and hip as one unit, back to center. Push into that left foot and reestablish your neutral foundation with the hips. When you're ready, step it in so that you have both feet at the width of the pelvis bones. And let's jump into our sequence on the other side of the body. Feet are at hips width. Inhale, reaching the arms overhead. This time we're taking our left foot back a casual stride, bending that right knee. We're finding a strong warrior one expression for the body. From here, slowly begin to circle that right arm back, adding in a nice big trunk rotation. Reaching back as if we're going to shake someone's hand. Exhale, down and around. Inhale, reach, 100 helium balloons. Exhale, back and around. Keeping that rhythm with our breath. Maybe exaggerate the exhale a little more. I know sometimes if you're in a room practicing with a bunch of people that are sitting at their desks, it can feel really odd to have those heavy sighs, but just try at least one big sigh. And exhale. From here, inhaling, bringing those arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan diving both hands down onto your right thigh. Keeping that big bend in the right knee. Push back into that left heel. Maybe look at the left foot. Lift the heel and swivel that foot back. Both toes forward. Finding that railroad track foundation. Pressing into the inner arches of the feet while we hold it here. Take your left hand, keep it on the thigh. Left fingers are facing the right. Let's bring our right knuckles to the low back. And as we inhale, we're slowly pressing that right shoulder back and pressing our left shoulder over that right knee. Keep pressing into the inner blades of the feet. Imagine you're trying to hold a beach ball. It's going to be positioned really strange between your knees. So maybe you have a beach ball behind your right knee and it's pushing against your left kneecap. You're trying to still squeeze in energetically while you push down and twist through the trunk of the body. There's a lot going on here. Rolling that shoulder back a little more. We could also reach back with that right arm if you like, or reach it up overhead. Swinging back with the chest. Breathe into the upper right chest region. It can feel very different from left to right. We're squeezing different organs, the liver versus the intestines and stomach. So don't try to twist too much. From here, let's slowly begin to straighten that right leg and maybe slide the left hand down on the outside of that right thigh while you continue to reach straight up to the sky, coming into a twisted or revolved triangle expression. Now, here comes the balance challenge. For the balance challenge, try shifting your eyes towards the right just a little bit. Not all the way to the right temple, but shift your eyes to the right so that maybe you can see your right arm in your peripheral vision. Now turn your head just a little bit. Shift the eyes again, and then turn your head, shift the eyes, turn the head, until maybe we're able to shift the eyes and also turning our head back to look at our right hand. Take that right hand back a little more, so you're trying to sweep it over your left hip. It's a big twist. We're all about the detox this month. When you're ready, lower the right hand to the hip. Let's bend that right knee, moving the right shoulder and hip as one unit. Slowly begin to rotate the trunk of the body with the hips to neutral. Let's step forward, shake out those legs. That is a huge hip stretch. Let's come to center. Feet are touching. Knees may or may not be touching, but the big toes are touching for sure. And depending on your shoes, maybe your heels are touching, but preferably if you have a shoe on that has maybe a very thin or more of a narrow base or sole, then keep a little bit of space between your heels. Now, if you're wearing a larger boot today, the heels might still touch. From here, let's roll those shoulders back, working with that stretch a little more. Keep those knees bent. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, palms to the heart. Let's push our hips back, keeping a flat back as we push the hips back and exaggerating a bit of a sway back almost in this. Bend the knees and flip the tailbone up behind you. It feels like a standing cow pose. From here, let's slide our thumbs over to the left armpit crease and then slowly begin to twist at your belly button towards the left. Now, as we twist to the left, our body has a natural tendency to pull the right hip in. We're going to counter that. To counter that, twist to the left with your shoulder, push the left hip forward, press your right hip back. Now look down at the outside of your left foot and bring the chin to the chest. Come down a little more. You can always lift the heels a little bit. Sometimes this takes pressure off the knees. Keep pressing that right hip back. Exhale all the way and pause. In that pause, quickly pull your belly button in and up. Now twist a little more. Hold the twist. 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring it to center. Thumbs to the center of the chest. Hands to the thighs. Forward fold, straighten the legs, and drop your body like a rag doll. Shake the head, yes. Turn it left and right. One big exhale from your throat. Let it all go. Let's bend our knees and walk the hands up to the thighs, taking our sweet time. We're going to make our way up into standing. Nice and tall, spine is long. Touch your toes together, reposition the feet as necessary, and shake off those knees. Let's inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale, thumbs draw into the sternum, chest center, pushing the hips back and bending our knees, keeping a flat back, establishing a little bit of a sway back. So maybe unlocking that tailbone and even feeling the spread. So there's no tension, no clenching in the buttocks region. Too much clenching there can actually cause a lot of back problems. From here, we're sliding our thumbs to the right armpit crease. Rotating a little bit with your rib cage and belly. Push your left knee back, push the left hip back, press your right hip forward, right shoulder presses back. So we're creating a deep, deep twist here. And it could feel different as we're squeezing the liver. So sometimes this side feels less mobile. Option to lift your heels a tiny bit, and then maybe come down more as we take pressure off your knees. Look down at the outside of your right foot, chin to chest, exhale all the way. Pause. Quickly belly in and up, surprise. Hold that, pull the navel in tight, twist a little more, hold it, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the thighs, let's guide our heart and shoulders to center. Separate the feet to hips width, straightening out the legs, push those hips and tailbone back, and now hang like a rag doll to counter that twist. Shake the head, yes. Turn it left and right. Big exhale. Let's bend our knees deep. Drag those hands up to the knees or thighs. Push to come up. Easy does it. And now shake out those legs. Very nice. All right, so let's practice another bigger twist. I'm going to take off my jacket, so hopefully we're able to see alignment a little better in this. So we have been doing a lot of inner hip, out the inside of the hip, back of the hip, and outer hip stretch. Now we're going to do a little bit of a inner hip stretch. For this inner hip stretch, I just want to show you first that you could use, if you wanted to, a chair. You could have a chair in front of you or a wall. You do not have to put the hands on the legs. There's no pressure that's required into the body. And of course, you do not have to touch the floor if your body or your clothing doesn't permit. So you could always grab a wall or a chair for this. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and touch the wall just for a moment with this one. So with this one, you'll be able to see from the back of my body, I'm taking the feet out wider than my hips. And the most common misalignment here is to lean the hips too far back. So if you were looking at it from the side, my hips would be behind my heels. We want to have the energy forward. So you want to have your hips forward or your center of gravity in the front of the foot. So again, you can have a wall or it can be free form in the room as well. So having those feet out to about the width, beyond the width of your hips, we're pushing the hips back and shifting our weight forward. Again, a chair or a wall provides the most support, but alternatively, you can put the hands down on your thighs. So we're gonna add in a twist, of course, since that's our theme this month. Take your right hand across to the top of the left thigh. If you have a chair or a wall, that left hand can stay anchored by the wall or a chair. From here, we're twisting towards the left and mindfully push into your left foot so that you're shifting over to the right. That way we create a lift in the right hip. As we twist to the left, naturally we may start to lean to the left. We may start to drop that right hip. So this one's a little tricky, but it really does target that hip joint. Twist to the left, push into your left foot so you shift to the right and lift that right hip. Push that right hip up and back. When you're ready, slowly come to center and just hang loose. Let's reset the body here. Coming up halfway, hands onto a wall or hands to the thighs. We're twisting over to the right this time. As we twist to the right, what naturally happens is that left hip tries to fold in. That's very natural because there's a connection there. It goes all the way from the back of your left heel up into your shoulders and around your head. So we want everything to work together, but today we also want to isolate. So push into your right foot, keeping that left hip back and lifted. Left hand comes across to the right thigh, and the right hand could stay on a chair or it could be on the wall. Keep pressing into your right foot so the energy goes left, keeping the legs straight. And In some styles of yoga, you would even be told to lock your joints at this time. I don't necessarily recommend locking the joints, but it's definitely just a fraction of a bend in the knee joints. Keep twisting, lift that left hip and push it back. When your body is ready, slowly bring those hands to neutral and drop your head. Start to slowly inch the feet in towards each other, coming into any comfortable stance. From wherever you are, bend the knees deep, let those hips drop back. Let's bring our left hand across to our right forearm and the right hand across to the left forearm. Hang your head loose. Let your elbows sway. Let the arms and the upper trunk of the body sway. And as we sway, we're contracting our ribs to our hips. Sway to the left, left rib presses to that left hip. Sway to the right, right rib to the right hip. Just one more each way. Gently massaging stomach, pancreas, intestines. When you're ready, let those hands relax. Draw them up onto your thighs. Elbows are bent. Let's support the spine, straightening the arms. Slowly rising up. Walk the hands up. And now shake out the legs. From here in our standing position, let's revisit our breath for this month. And we're going to add on to it with 3 big inhales, 1 big exhale. So we began with a, now it's going to be, now here are the movements, and you can stay standing or you can come to a seated position for this. Sometimes we call this the conductor's breath, or more commonly or traditional, it is the breath of joy. It looks like this, like a conductor. You go up, out, up, and then down really hard. So the 3 inhales are with the arm movements. You're going to take it up, out, up, down. Let's try that again. Up, out, up, down. Now let's try it fast. 5 of them, as fast as your body permits. Exhale all the way. Ready? Up, out, up, down. Last one. Now just shake it off. Shake it all off. From wherever you are, standing or seated, take your middle fingers, hook them together. The other fingers are going to curl in lightly. You can even touch the fingertips to the thumbs and open up your fingers. This is a mudra. It is a hasta mudra, a hand gesture that can be used to affect specific acupressure points in the body that can influence the energy in your belly. So the energy in the belly can be physical, metabolism, digestion. Energetically, it helps to flush out the ego so that we're able to have more of a pure intention and an authentic expression of our personalities. Hook those middle fingers together, lower them down in front of your belly button, sit nice and tall. And as you pull on those middle fingers, think of it like links in a chain, and you're going to test the strength of that chain. You're going to pull, and as you do, you might start to feel some tension building all the way up into your shoulders. So this really does speak to the connection between all parts of the body, and it might even speak to why sometimes we have shoulder or neck pain when we have to sit and type or work at our computers too much. Everything's connected. Sitting nice and tall, pull on those middle fingers, keep those shoulders pressing away from your ears, lower the chin, and just practice a few big inhales into your chest. Breathe into the nose. Big exhale from your mouth. Try slowing down the inhale. Big breath in. Slow down the exhale. Big inhale. Imagine you're blowing bubbles or whistling. That will really slow down the exhale. One more, big breath in. Slow exhale, blow bubbles. Now relax your hands, turn the palms up. Notice if that created some tone or some tension in your biceps. From here, let's circle the arms overhead. Soak up the breath. Exhale, circle it back. This is where we all began today. 2 more. Opening up the chest. Exhale back. Pull that fresh breath in. Big exhale. Make space for that breath. Last one. And exhale back. Great job, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste. Remember to join me every day at noon. We'll either breathe, meditate, or do some sort of movement. Y'all have a fantastic day.